Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be showing you guys, or I'm going to be showing you guys, the instruction, tactics, and formations that I have set up for my dynamic tactics and where I put the player positioning and all that stuff. I was recording this video earlier, and I'm checking right now just to make sure I have the mic on. If you guys notice that I take little breaks in between of me making this video, or you'll hear some voice cracks or here and there, it's because I am a little bit sick right now. My throat is a little bit itchy, and my chest is kind of hurting a little bit, but you guys will know why I take breaks in between, like when I'm talking, right? So, first basic instructions and tactics is for the 4-2-3-1. So this is the team that we have set up over here. So, not the greatest team, but an okay team at best. CDMs definitely need to be upgraded. Center backs probably need to be like Davinson Sanchez uh, and Van Dijk. The right back, Pereira is actually quite decent, but Kyle Walker would obviously be preferable. Mendy in this position over here. Goalkeeper, obviously someone like Alisson from Liverpool, because everybody keeps talking about how good he is. So probably like Alisson from Liverpool, Courtois, maybe De Gea. Never tried any of those three, but from words of what people have been saying, Alisson's amazing. Firmino, I don't really know who I would put in Firmino's position. It would have to be a legend, to be honest, like someone like Ruud Gullit to put in that position. Willian on the right side lacks in the physical and needs more pace, so I can just give him a sniper card because if he had pace like Mane, right, because Mane already has 95, 93, I would give Willian a sniper card and he would be significantly better. But because I need that extra sprint speed on his card, I need to give him a Hunter card, so his finishing is significantly improved and his pace is much, much better. So, Mane is actually a meta card. He doesn't have physical or the height, but he makes up for it and everything else in his card because once you give him a sniper card, he's honestly incredible to use in this game. He's probably the only meta card in my team in terms of someone that's like at a really top tier level because every time I have the ball with him, his dribbling is phenomenal. His general play on and off the ball is amazing. And yeah, he's obviously the one that costs the most in my team because he's 110k worth. Lacazette's the striker position is a very important position in this game, and Lacazette is okay to use, but he's not necessarily ideal. He's missing the physical presence. He's missing the pace. He's missing the height. Those things are very important for players to be good or bad, and he's just missing a lot of those things, right? It's great that I don't necessarily have to give him a Hunter card because he'll still have 93 sprint speed with 89 acceleration. But yeah, his height as a lone striker just doesn't really work in that position. There's nobody else that I can really put there because the physical type strikers, I wouldn't really like them too much. Because I need players that can cut really quickly, and I know that they won't really do that much. And there are times when I want my players to be through on goal, and they won't be because they don't have like Mane pace, even though defenders still catch up to you this year. Dribbling is already very good, so it makes more sense to give him a Hunter card to improve his finishing as much as possible because his composure is already very good too, and then increasing his pace would also help a lot as well. I think for Willian's position, believe it or not, I need to see if I can put another right wing there. I don't think the EPL has many good right wingers or right mids. I think they have like Raheem Sterling, possibly Salah. Salah, I think, would actually be significantly better than Willian because driven shots across goal don't really even work that well in this game. So I think having someone that has better shooting stats in general and a fantastic left foot, because having a left foot on the right side to cut inside and do that finesse shot would be very, very effective. So if we look at Mohamed Salah's card, not that one, but this one, you can see that his pace is already 94, 91, and his dribbling in general is already fantastic. So again, I would probably give him a Hunter card because his composure and everything is very good. So he would be a fantastic card to use. So I'd probably replace Willian with him because I think he also has high medium. He's a left-footed player. Yes, he has a 3-star weak foot, but driven shots are very inconsistent this year. So cutting inside and finessing it is definitely the more ideal way to go. Also, if you're in certain situations with Salah, you can actually hit the near post because the players will do an outside the foot shot. So it'll just make it more effective to finish those opportunities. But as of right now, this is the team that we're rocking with. CDM position, honestly, the only people that I can think of putting there is Fabinho and Conte possibly. I think those two would absolutely be amazing. But Conte's missing the height, which would be annoying for 50-50s in the air, especially since corners are very effective nowadays. But Fabinho's definitely a player I need. And The other player would honestly have to be like a legend. I think legends is going to be the most meta thing this year because they're going to make such a huge difference, right? So in regards to the custom tactics with this team, I am set up with balance for the 4-2-3-1. The width is set to a 5 because I want it to be a little bit more narrow because it is a 4-2-3-1. So the formation itself is already wide. So making it more narrow will just help defensively, but the formation itself will still play wide. You can even see that my balance for the attack is a 3 because my players are far too out wide, and I don't want them to be that out wide. I want them to be more narrow when they make the runs in behind because it just offers more of a possession-based presence for my team, right? Players in the box is set to 4. To be honest, I'd probably decrease it even more because I don't want to get counterattacked at all. So maybe setting it to a 3, even a 1 would suffice really nicely for me. Maybe even a 2 would be really nice because I just never cross the ball, even though it's the most effective way to score because of the team that I have. If I had players that were actually competent at jumping in the air, winning the ball in the air, like obviously like the Ronaldos and stuff, even Neymar's would win the ball in the air because just those cards are just really good. It would be definitely really ideal to have. Corner set to 2 is okay because I want some people in the box, but I don't really cross the ball too often because, again, can't really win the ball in the air that often unless it's like someone like Roberto Firmino, and he's like really inconsistent with hitting those. Free kicks is set to 1 because I usually do the free kick tactic, so there's not really a point in me having it to set to a 5 because I never cross it into the box anyways, right? Because, again, can't really win those physical battles in the air. The instruction set for the 4-2-3-1 is set to stay back while attacking for the fullback, stay back while attacking for the CDMs. The left mids and right mids are on balance because I like them kind of coming close and going far for general support. Roberto Firmino on the cam position is stay on the edge of the box and come back in defense. Stay on the edge of the box because, again, counterattacks don't want to get counterattacked. And come back on defense with high work rates. Very nice to have when defending with someone like Roberto Firmino. I think in the future, if I upgrade my squad as much as possible, I would probably try to get Hullet in that position. And the reason being for that is because Hullet has defensive stats. So I think he would be a fantastic cam because I think Patrick Vieira would be an ideal CDM. And maybe like a Michael Ballack would be an ideal CDM. I think those guys would be amazing to have, right? Lacazette up top is on mixed attack. I don't really know what to do with Lacazette right now because, again, whatever instruction I tell him to do isn't necessarily the greatest because there's times where I want him to get in behind, but he's not tall or physical enough to outbody center backs when he's going kind of face-to-face with them like someone like Mane can. Mane can outbody someone because he has a little bit of aggression with a good pace, but I'm still trying to figure out the striker position. The defensive formation that I have set is the 4-2-2. So it's also unbalanced. I have the width and players in the box to be a similar amount because I never really cross the ball that often again. So you can see that the width and the depth of the team is nice. I like having the players on this depth. I think this is too much and I think this is too little. I think this is a very good amount right here. And keeping the team kind of narrow helps out with blocking the middle as much as possible, but then also having the width on the sides to go and defend the crosses coming in. So I would try experimenting with the width to be really narrow so you can avoid crosses as much as possible, the wide passes as much as possible. But you also have to be very careful because that also means that people can make those extra wide passes to the sides. And if they get through on goal, they can just cross it downwards, so on and so forth. So try to figure it out if you want to have it on a 5 or a 4, in my opinion. Instruction set for this team. This is how the team is set up in game. So Williams on the left side, Mane's on the right. I think what I would actually do is I would put Mane on the left side right here, and then Lacazette over here to the right side, and then Firmino to the left side. Actually, no, here. Reason being for this is because the instruction with this team is stay back while attacking for the fullback, stay back while attacking for the CDMs. One is to cover the wing, and one is to cover the center. Just in case the left cam and the right cam don't come back and support those general areas. But I actually might just want to have it on cover center for the CDMs because the center is the most important part of the pitch, in my opinion. Mane and Willian are set to balance, and the striker is set to false 9 in someone like Roberto Firmino because he's not really a striker. And then get in behind for someone like Lacazette so he can run away from me so I can build up the play with Sadio Mane, Willian, and Roberto Firmino. The defensive tactics, or the ultra defensive tactics, is set to a 4-2-3-1. So if someone is defending a lot against me, and they don't really look like they want to attack against me at all. They don't want to try to get a goal back and try to get the W back. Like I was playing against a guy yesterday who I was beating 2-1, and he had a God Squad, right? Like really good players in his team, and he was just using, I think he was using the tactic of going deep. It's I forgot what it's called. So I think it's drop back, because every single person kept on dropping back as I was building possession with the ball. Because you can see with drop back, right? That the players come back once you progress into the midfield, right? So you see that when I am attacking with my defender, or when I'm or passing the ball around with my defenders, passing it left to the right side has been working really well when people decide to still be defensive when they're losing, right? People in this game, people kind of play not to concede more because of how like effective defensive AI is. So my train of thought is basically, if you don't want to use an attacking tactic against me to get the ball back, then I'm obviously not going to do the same thing against the other person, right? So ultra defensive with balance, because I feel like that's a better balance than it is to have drop back. Players in the box 1, because obviously I don't want to get counterattacked at all if I'm trying to get the result. With probably going to narrow it a little bit because it's still a 4-2-3-1. Instructions on this formation is set to stay back while attacking for the fullback, stay back while attacking for the CDMs, and cover the center. Right mid and left mid come back on defense. The cam is come back on defense, and I don't even tell him to stay on the edge of the box, which I probably should. And then the Lacazette card plays like a false 9 coming back on defense. So that way, I have I have a striker who's playing like a midfielder, but I still have the left mid, right mid, CDMs, cams, blocking every single position possible. So this is, again, if I want to waste the time, if someone's playing a certain way against me. Attacking formation is the 4-1-2-1-2. This one is an okay formation to use. I probably set it to like a 4 or 5. I think I set it to a 5 because 4-1-2-2 allows people to exploit the sides really easily. So maybe narrowing it as much as possible with the attack, but putting a little bit of width on the defense is beneficial. Players in the box, probably set it to 3 or something. Instructions with this team, I have to stay back while attacking for the fullbacks. The CDM is to stay back while attacking. Fernandinho is stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box because of characteristics. If he was a better center mid, I would keep him unbalanced. Like Firmino is kept on balance, but they all have cover on center. Sadio Mane has getting behind because of that pace that he has, and then Lacazette is on mixed attack, so that way I can always look for the run that Mane actually makes behind the enemy lines. Willian is on basic because I feel like basic works out really nicely for me as a cam. I don't necessarily want him to come back on the defense, but I don't necessarily want him to be too far up as well. So a good balance of having a high work rated player in that cam spot. And then last but not least, we have the formation that is to put a lot of pressure against opposition. And to be honest, I actually might switch this to the 3-5-2 because I always like having the cam. So the balance is on that. The corners will keep high. Free kicks we don't necessarily need to keep high because, again, I don't really take them. Players in the box we have to a 5 to make the players make the runs, but I think having a 4 is even better. Not for the counterattacks, but when I get to that side, you see how deep the players are still back there. It allows me to stop with the ball and then pass it back. So that's just my play style, not necessarily because I don't want to cross and stuff. Width, I want to have narrow on the attack because it's already a wide formation in itself. Constant pressure, the width I feel like is okay being narrow, but the depth I want it to be high as I'm putting constant pressure against my opposition. Balancing the offensive style is very nice. Instructions for this team. First of all, I'm going to switch some of the players. So over here, we're going to want to put Mane up top with striker. Willian could be played off to the right side here. Lacazette on the left. Mane on the right. Roberto Firmino there. And then with the instructions on this team, it would be stay back while attacking for the CDMs to offer a presence in the midfield when I want to pass the ball back. I want the left mid and the right mid to get in behind, and then I want the striker and someone like Mane to be on mixed attack. I think everything on mixed attack would be good. So, yeah, I feel like this works out really nicely. Just going to make sure that my player positioning isn't terrible. You can see that Patrick Van Aanholt is on the left side, or Ricardo Pereira. I think I would actually want to have Ricardo Pereira on the side more than Patrick Van Aanholt because Patrick Van Aanholt's like finishing isn't great. Or attacking presence isn't great. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch Patrick Van Aanholt to the left side because left-footed player in that position. Switching in this game is kind of hard. Let me just go over here. So Ndidi, there you go. And then to Socrates over here, or not to Socrates. I have to go to Van Aanholt here. and then go to Socrates, put him on the left side. Socrates, Eric Bailly, and Didi Fernandinho. Ricardo Pereira is not going to be on the left side, but on the right side. And then Willian has a decent left foot, so I'll keep him on that side. And then Lacazette, Mane, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? Tactics being on constant pressure is what you use when someone is trying to waste time against you. If you use constant pressuring with 5 midfielders and 2 attackers, it'll definitely help you out a lot. Putting a narrow on the width will help because the formation itself is already very wide, so it just works out really nicely. But that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. Those are the tactics and instructions that I do use for my teams. It's been working out pretty well for me so far. I haven't really been playing Foot Champs too much, guys, because as you guys know, I don't really like the game mode too much, but I do like Division Rivals. And the cool thing about this year is that people are okay with me playing Division Rivals because technically it's harder than Foot Champs, but I just like the concept of Division Rivals that when you lose, it just doesn't carry as much weight as Foot Champs. I don't really care too much about the rewards because it's really not worth the stress of losing terrible games to people because of the RNG in this game. So I like Division Rivals. I've been having a lot of fun playing Division Rivals. So I'm just kind of sticking with that and sticking with the game plan with that. So that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on the video. It definitely helps out a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.